just want to talk.
Welcome to the second season of We Just Want to Talk. I'm Debbie,
I'm Miriam, and this is everything we want to talk about.
including Tegan and Sara. Hello, and welcome back to We Just Want to Talk, season 2.
Hi. Today we have a really, really interesting topic that I'm so
You didn't
glad we're gonna
introduce
talk about.
the guest yet.
She's been here like twice. We don't need to.
Hi,
Emma.
we're famous.
No, I know it's
Hi.
Emma, but like we still need to,
Yeah, okay. Emma is with us today to discuss culture and languages. You're going to learn a lot of languages today, and we're going to learn each other's languages today as well.
And the topic was suggested by a listener, Maju.
Yeah, it's a really
So,
good topic. Thank you, Maju.
You guys anyone can send us suggestions if you go on our link tree.
Yeah,
There's a link
interact
called
with us, people.
Talk to Us, and then you can send us suggestions for topics that you would like us to talk about, and you can even come on the
Real.
podcast if you want to talk about something specific,
Uh-huh.
like Emma did already 3 times.
Yay!
Are you sure you're
And
the
I'm so
one who-
happy here. I suggested the religion topic that we should start our own religion.
Called.
Oh,
To
yes.
use the podcast to write
Well,
the
this is kind of a cult
Holy
already, so
It is,
already
already have the tattoos and
already on the works. At the end of the episode, we're gonna read the answers from the previous episode. So if you sent a submission, wait until the end that we're gonna talk about the submissions.
sorry
Thanks for
making you
submitting,
wait.
though.
Back to the podcast today. We're discussing, like I said, culture and languages. Before that, we'd like to just go over some the Tegan and Sara news of this week. Say it, Debbie.
Oh, Emma, did you see that their documentary thing?
I freaked out. I was like,
I was
Same.
like,
what is this? And I still don't understand. Like, is the mockumentary? Is it like an actual
no,
documentary?
it's an actual documentary. But the thing is, did you know about this? Like
No,
the fake Tegan?
nobody knew. Did you? I mean, you
Because
must
we knew she was hacked, and then a bunch of songs got leaked. Like that's how we have some of the songs that were never released
Yeah,
because
but like
she got
that
hacked.
happened a long time ago, no?
But I didn't know that like someone was
No.
impersonating Tegan
Wait,
and
I
pretending,
actually
like, talking to
remembered.
people.
The first time she got hacked was during the con era, and some
Because I saw
people
some
know.
comments of people. Yeah, some people were like, "Oh yes," at the time there were people thinking they were dating Tegan online.
Yeah.
So some people knew about it, but I think that fans probably thought that it happened and then it was over. But apparently it lingered until now.
Yeah.
And I think that in the documentary, when they did the documentary, they probably have someone to investigate who did it for the documentary. And then by the end of the documentary, we know who it is. You know how other documentaries, they had the documentary to find out during
I
the
think they're
documentary.
gonna tell us the
Oh yeah.
No, they might not tell us who it is, but they might find out. Like they
they know who it is.
Yeah, hopefully, because this is crazy. Like,
Yeah, it's just like
I did want to mention that Miriam and we manifested this documentary because she's been dreaming about Tegan. And
Guys.
the other day I asked her about one of the leaked songs, and this person, whoever is the fake Tegan at the time, they leaked songs. And I was like, oh my God, we just talked about these things. And then
yeah, guys, last month I dreamed of Tegan being exposed about something. I'm not gonna say what it is.
yes, because it's very not appropriate.
Random.
Yeah. But other than that, like, I'm very excited for the documentary. Are you guys excited?
Yeah, so
Very.
excited.
I
I'm
like
really
that it's
intrigued.
18th of October because Crybaby came out on the 13th of October.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So
2022.
it's 2 years after.
Don't make me cry.
I need
It was the best
content.
year.
I feed
You
on
need what?
Content.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I need
exactly.
content. Yeah.
Like, I'm excited. Imagine soon we're gonna have a trailer.
Oh, that's true. You know what I hate about that? It's that internationally it's gonna be on Disney Plus, and we're supposed to be boycotting Disney Plus. And I wanted to say something
I'm gonna be
rude.
torrenting that shit.
Yeah, obviously.
We can find it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, I
piracy.
put this on the podcast because I was gonna say, oh, you picked the platform that's supporting genocide, and obviously now I
They've
know
been
why
doing
you're not
this for
talking.
2 years, so they didn't know.
Yeah, Amazon and oh yeah, I know. That's true. That's
Yeah,
true. That's true.
That's why that's probably why they haven't
Yeah.
been saying anything, because they already had a contract. So they were like,
That's true. That's
"Oh,
true. I
fuck.
forgot. Yeah.
Now
I'm sorry, Tegan.
we
and
have to
Sara.
just pretend that like everything is fine. But in the Tegan and Sara news, that's it. That's like the documentaries,
You wanted
the
to
only
talk
new
about
thing.
the Not Tonight tour, so I give you
Yes,
that.
I wanted. Yeah, so the Not Tonight tour. What I wanted to mention was the last day was in Guelph, which is the town that Marley lives, which is a friend of ours. So that was like really exciting because it was like special. And Laura, another friend, came up with the idea of giving everyone in the audience the little papers. So there was a rainbow when they were singing "Where Does a Good Grow?" Where does a good go? Not grow.
Grow.
So you hold the paper in front of the flash of your phone, and so like the entire theater was lit, and their faces, like it was really like they were smiling because they never open their eyes and they never smile when they're singing. So they were like watching us and like smiling and singing. It was very emotional.
That's so
And then
cute.
and yeah, I don't know. I think I'm very lucky to be able to go to the concerts, and as part of this podcast that gets to experience that, I wanted to mention it and say that it's very special. But I do want to say also that I think that Tegan and Sara should invest in like doing something for the international fans, you know, because like they can't go to concerts, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like I don't know how, because I can come up with so many ideas for them to like get international fans to support not only books and, you know, like actual I don't know, performances. I feel like they could do something for.
Yeah, you should be their manager. Why not?
Right.
Yeah.
I said that
Hire
many
us.
times.
Just do it. What's stopping you?
Them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. But yeah, I think that they should figure something out for the other fans, because it's not that like they want to go to concert, it's because they are fans and they want to support. And like Substack and stuff, it's cool, but it's still not music, you know. They want to see them perform.
Well, they did like my tweet when I was like
Oh,
responding
which
to
one?
them. I just said, come to Europe, what the fuck? And they liked it.
I do think that in the future, when Sid is older, I think they're gonna like do more tours. I have hope.
Yeah.
Or they could do one of those smaller tours, like not tonight, but in different places of the world.
In Slovakia, yeah, sure.
I mean, Europe at least. But yes, so those were the Tegan and Sara news.
We're done?
Yeah.
Well,
what else? They just finished the tour. They announced like Crash, and they just announced the documentary.
Do you think that they're gonna do? Maybe they're gonna have the documentary in theaters? No,
I don't
because
think
it's
so.
it's
No.
Maybe
going
in
on Hulu,
Canada,
right?
but I
So
don't think
TV, Hulu.
internationally, no.
no, it's for
It's
streaming, so I
Hulu.
don't think they.
Streaming.
Yeah.
I like that it's Hulu because Hulu is much better than Netflix.
Do you guys think that the documentary will bring attention to the band? Because like documentaries sometimes they get really popular depending on.
Honestly, I don't really know like who
Get
watches
Along though brought
streaming
them a lot of
services
attention.
anymore, so I don't know. But
I just
there's
mean
like
I just mean in
all this
terms of
marketing
popularity.
around that, right? I don't know
Yeah.
if they have
Yeah, I
the
don't
money
know.
to do all of that.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So basically, we're going to transition from what Debbie said about the Not Tonight tour to our topic today, since the Not Tonight tour represents a celebration of the community and culture that Tegan and Sara have sought to establish over the past 2 decades. So when they first released If It Was You, their mission was to make music that people understood and loved. With their third studio album released in 2002. It's 2002, right? Not 2003?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Two.
If It Was You, it was released in 2002. Tegan and Sara gradually began founding their community of not only queer girls, what did I say girls? I mean queer
People.
yeah, queer people, but also fans who found safety within the space Tegan and Sara provided as they performed in small venues, pubs, bars, etc. Their tours became a meeting place for fans from all over, where they could interact and get to know other fans who share the same interest. Tegan and Sara also communicated with their fans through banters, their website, social media, web series. We talked about this a lot before, in the first season. And this had made the fan base develop a shared bond up until today, despite the diversity of the strategies and methods that they use nowadays, connecting with their fans. You know, nowadays that they use Substack, less social media, all of that. When Tegan and Sara first announced the Night to Night tour, it was just like a call back to those older days and to their older fans to join their new fans and meet everyone in a safe space. Despite its limitedness of location, the tour still managed to attract the attention of international fans who would have loved to see them perform their old songs from that era. Some managed to travel, not me, and see them live, while some couldn't, me. Still, the call still, the call I'm obviously very still pressed about that. Sorry.
Just bitter.
Bitter, exactly. Okay, so the call back to those old times has drawn a connecting line, like a line between past and present. I'm blabbing a lot about past and present. It's very important to me. Preserving
but
a
that's what
culture.
the tour was.
That's true. Preserving a culture of art and love they have created with their music, writing, and communication, because culture means communication, guys. After all, we can't forget the fact that our presence here on this platform is a result of the community and culture that Tegan and Sara have eased us into. We come from utterly different backgrounds and places. We speak different languages. We follow different traditions, yet we were all able to connect through our shared interest, and that is Tegan and Sara. Therefore, thus, for this reason.
Right. Therefore,
we have decided to delve into and discover these different cultures and backgrounds we share, and how we have connected to one another through the love of Tegan and Sara. Today, we're letting you get to know us more as we chat about our culture and languages. All right, guys. So we have some things to answer. It's like they're questions for each other. So each one of us, is going to answer or talk about these aspects in her culture and when it comes to their language as well. So first one, we're going to listen to our guest because we're hospitable first.
what's the first question?
Share a bit about your cultural background and language, please.
Yes,
Tell
thank you so
us.
much for giving me this time to talk about my culture. Well, I'm from Slovakia. It's literally the middle of Europe, if you know,
It's not
looking
East Europe?
geographically. What?
It's not East Europe?
No, middle of Europe.
Okay. Next to what?
Everybody says we're Eastern, like close to Ukraine.
I'm bad at geography.
No,
Next
that's
to
okay.
what?
We're really, really small. Nobody knows about us. It's fine.
Same.
I wouldn't like to know about us either. We're horrible. But
Oh
we're
my
like
God.
in the middle. It's fine. We're
What
in
do
the
you
middle.
speak? Oh, you're gonna say, sorry. I'm not gonna interrupt you.
I have a whole paragraph
Yeah.
written, so
Yeah. Say it. Yeah.
yeah.
Can't wait.
I'm from Slovakia. We're literally in the middle of Europe. We are a really young state or republic. We're a Slovak republic.
Right.
We are formed
Really?
in 1993, because before we were mostly under the Austria-Hungary kingdom, and then after World War I, we formed a state with Czech Republic, and then during World War II, we were actually a fascist state. Yay. And then after World War II,
Oh
we're
yeah, before it
Czechoslovakia
was
again.
Czechoslovakia. I remember that.
Yeah. After World War II, we were Czechoslovakia again, but we were under the
Oh,
Soviet
that's Czechoslovakia, the same one?
Oh my God.
But it was separated, and then it became
There's
Slovakia.
Czechoslovakia. The
Slovakia.
Slovakia and Czechoslovakia is the same one as Slovakia. Yes.
Oh.
Where did I stop? Okay, so after World War II, we were Czechoslovakia again, but we're under the Soviet Union. Then the Soviet Union fell.
Yeah, in 1989.
Yeah,
people?
1989 is. And then we're like just normal Czechoslovakia, but we're like sick of each other, I guess. I wasn't alive then, you know, the drama doesn't concern me. So 1993 we were separated, and our language is Slovak. It is a Slavic language. So it is really similar to other Slavic languages. For example, we can fully understand and speak the Czech language because we still have Czech films and Czech, you know, programs on our TVs. So we like grow up with it, so we can understand it and speak it. And we usually go to Czech Republic to study in university because they have better universities. And we're also pretty close to the Polish language. Like if we talk slowly, we can pretty much understand each other. And then there are languages like Russian, Ukrainian, Croatian, Serbian, Slovenian, and Bulgarian.
Also similar.
Yeah, also similar. We can understand some of the words, but most of them use the Cyrillic alphabet because in like the 8th century, it was the first alphabet that was brought to us in
It's
our
from
region.
Mesopotamia, and the first language, the first writing happened in Iraq, Mesopotamia, actually, not Iraq.
Yeah,
It's different,
Mesopotamia. So yeah, that was the first alphabet that was brought to us, but now we use like the Latin alphabet.
Could you write words in the other alphabet too?
Yeah, because when I was 16, I really wanted to learn Russian. So my parents got me like a book to like learn Russian by yourself. And the first page was the alphabet, and I literally learned the alphabet in like 30 minutes.
Because you could use that for your own language.
Yeah. It's hard to read because, you know, some letters are the same as our letters, but they're different. For example, P is R.
Oh my God.
And stuff like that. So I just like seeing them like, and I say the word, but sometimes
you have to get used
like,
to.
Yeah. But it's not hard. I think like
Miriam,
the Asian stuff is a lot harder.
That's true. Which is another alphabet altogether.
Or even
Japanese
Arabic. Like
and
I could
Mandarin
never imagine myself like learning
Arabic.
Arabic.
So true. Miriam, are we going to answer that as well, or just Emma?
Yeah, you should. I want to know.
Hello. I mean, the listeners don't know about us, but I just want to say something about Syriac language also, that it's originated also in Palestine. That's what Wikipedia says. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Anyway, Debbie, would you like to introduce thyself since we're talking about languages?
So share a little bit of background in language. So background, Brazilian background or my background? Because Brazil is really big.
Whatever you want. It's your time to shine.
Right.
Shine like a rock star.
My time to shine. So Brazil is really big, and I'm from São Paulo, which is it has Wi-Fi. Okay, Brazil. There's Wi-Fi in Brazil. Okay, Tegan.
Come to Brazil.
Come to Brazil, please.
Literally. I was telling my friend, my friend was like, because there's a festival happening at the end of the year. And it's kind of like the types of festival that Tegan and Sara would play on, because they bring international bands, but like pop and sometimes even indie. If they went to Brazil, I would have to go. Like I just would have to go.
Do you still have like family there?
Yeah, everyone is there. I came alone. So another thing, I'm from Brazil, from São Paulo, but I immigrated to Canada alone. So my entire family is there. Like all my friends were there. I came here when I was 27. So like 27 years before that, exactly when I was your age, I moved to a total different country, and now I have a totally different life. But I'm from São Paulo, which is like in the south of Brazil, and Brazil is really big. So the north and the south are like really different. So my culture, in terms of language, Brazil speaks Portuguese because the colonies were Portuguese, and we're very similar to Spanish. So I can understand a little bit of Spanish, just like Emma can understand some other languages that are around her country. I can understand Spanish. I cannot speak, but I can read, and like depending on like the region, because South America, it's like most of the countries like I don't know, 90% of the country speak Spanish, and then there's Portuguese and a few others that speak maybe Dutch and French and English, but most of it is Spanish. So my background is Portuguese, but I also have Italian and English and Irish. Like I'm 99% white, like
You are.
from Europe. But I feel like I'm very cultural because I like my background is, like I said, English, Portuguese. It's mostly Portuguese, not Spanish. What did I say? Italian and a little bit of Irish. But I'm from Brazil, which is Latin America. I speak Portuguese, but I moved to Canada. So like I also lived in England for a year. So I feel like I'm multicultural because I feel like even though I'm from Brazil, I don't really fit in the like standard of how Brazilians are anymore because my behavior is, I feel like it's already different from Brazilians, even though I feel
Understood.
Brazilian.
Yeah.
I have a lot of influences from other places. So the way I am, like my personality and everything, I think it's a little bit different, even though I
How
understand the
is it
culture.
different? How is it like? What is so different from you?
Like when I just went to Brazil in June, July, and like for example, I went to eat with my family at a restaurant, and then I said hi and went to sit at my seat, and everyone was like, "Hey, you didn't hug us, you didn't like kiss us," and then I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and then because
Oh,
like
You didn't
you
kiss
know,
your
you
family?
didn't. Oh shit,
I did, but
my
I had
grandma would
already done
spank
it the
her
day
in
before.
front of people.
You have to
You
kiss
would.
people.
Oh, we have to kiss like
but yeah, like
300 times.
but
Yeah.
that's the thing. But that's the thing is it's that like
Everyone has
the
to be
cultural
kissed,
shock
men,
already
women,
that is
everyone.
happening. It's not that I didn't want to. It's just I don't
Yeah.
have the like the custom anymore.
Yes, see, this is the thing. If I come to Canada with my kissing habits, I'm like, she kisses everyone. Sometimes I pretend like I'm not in, like, I'm sick. I'm not gonna kiss anyone. I'm not sick, really.
But yeah, but this is one of the things,
Too
you know.
much, yeah. I understand that.
Yeah. Now you.
All right. My name is Miriam.
Say it in your language. Say it with your
Miriam.
accent.
It's
Oh,
Miriam.
Mariam.
Okay. My name is Miriam. Miriam. I have a cousin called Miriam, and when I called her Miriam, she didn't understand because she's American. So I had to be like Miriam so she could understand. We share the same name, exactly the same name because our family ran out of names. Anyway,
Does her name have a Y as well?
it's an
No, because
I.
hers is MI.
It's the same thing. Mary, it's like Maria, Mary, same thing. Miriam in Arabic.
Okay.
It's actually not Arabic, it's Aramaic. Miriam is the name of Mary, Virgin Mary.
Yeah,
And
in Portuguese and Spanish, it's Maria.
yeah,
Maria.
Mari, exactly.
We have it's a very
Marianne.
common name, and I think it's
It's
a very common
also,
name like
yeah.
throughout
Yeah,
cultures.
obviously.
All
with
the cultures.
Christianity, yeah.
We have an entire verse in Quran called Maryam. It's about Jesus and Mary. So like, you know, it's very important in my culture. Actually in Iraqi culture, because in Jordan, they like they don't acknowledge it a lot. And this is because I'm going to say this. I'm from Iraq, and Iraq is a very, very, very cultural, or was a very, before the war, cultural place that had a lot of religions, tons of religions, like tons and tons, backgrounds, languages, and all of that, and we lived together
Yeah, because
in
like
harmony and all of
the
that.
origin of a lot of things happened there.
Yeah, it's true. And we didn't understand, like, we didn't, like, my mom and my dad have different, like, not ethnicities, like, it's the same religion, but my mom's beliefs are, it's like, you know, like a Catholic and a Protestant, kind of like that.
Yeah.
So you have Sunni and Shia, so it's like both are Muslims. Now Iraq is mostly like Shia and not Sunnis anymore after that. That's why we're here. We're migrated, a lot of us.
Because of
And
religion, yeah.
yeah, because of beliefs. Like a lot of these things happened. Yeah, because whoever took charge after is like, you can't be here, blah blah. I am ethnically Jewish as well. My grandmother is Jewish. Yeah, I was born 1994 in Iraq. I came to Jordan after the war, exactly after the war in 2004, and I've lived in Jordan ever since. I work here. I graduated from here. I speak Arabic. Okay, so here's the thing with it when it comes to language. So we have standard Arabic. Fusha, nobody speaks it, but I can read it, I can understand it.
What
It's
about in
very hard.
schools?
Yeah, so I was a national, not an international school. I was in a national school, so we spoke the Jordanian dialect, but like in the books, it's the
Oh.
actual Arabic. The and that
So
caused
what
a
you
problem
read
for
was
me.
different than what you spoke in
Yeah,
class.
yeah.
Okay.
But that caused a problem for me because I do not speak the Jordanian dialect usually. I speak it with my friend. I'm very good at it. All right, but
Uh-huh.
I don't speak like the Arabic one, like the actual Arabic, the real Arabic.
Jordanian
No, no, no,
Arabic.
no, Fusha Arabic, the standard Arabic. I don't
You don't
speak it.
speak it.
Nobody speaks
Oh.
it. But because I speak Iraqi and my grandmother is Turkish. Oh, my grandmother is Turkish. My great grandmother from my mom's side is Chinese. So I'm very
Mm-hmm.
mixed. Yeah.
So like is the standard Arabic similar to Latin that no one speaks, but it's like the origin of a bunch of languages?
No, it's a lot like
No, people speak Arabic, the
speak it, but
standard.
dialect. So there is Egyptian. Now, why do we have so many dialects, and why do we understand some and don't understand some? So
Mm.
Egyptian, for example, Egypt, it goes back to, pharaohs and Coptic and all of that.
But if you
So they have
travel to Egypt
parts.
and you spoke the languages
I can't speak it. I can
normally.
understand it because I watch a lot of Egyptian shows. It's like
Oh, okay.
ازيك instead of كيفك in Jordanian, شلونك in Iraqi. So it's the same, like hi. ازيك شلونك كيفك. So it's like hi, how
All
are
of
you?
those mean hi.
All of
Okay.
those. They mean how are you, not hi, sorry.
How are you?
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically I know all of these. In Iraqi it's a lot because of my background. I have a lot of Turkish words in my own language because of my grandmother and the background. And so there are a lot of dialects when it comes to Iraqi, but I was in Baghdad, like I was born there, and a very Turkish upbringing.
But so you have a little bit of different backgrounds too. So you're like,
A
do
mixed
you feel
race.
like, yeah, but do you feel
Yeah,
like
Asian.
culturally in the house, are you guys still like, is it the Iraqi way of life kind of, or
Here's
is
the
it
thing.
already like different than?
We speak Iraqi with each other. It's very hard to understand. A lot of people don't understand it because the words are crazy.
A mix
It's
of,
Aramic,
yeah,
Syriac, and Turkish
yeah.
words. Some Persian, some words are Persian, and some Arabic. So it doesn't sound a lot like Arabic. Just like Tunisia and Morocco, it's a mix of French and
Hmm.
Latin and all
Arabic.
of these. So and Arabic. So it doesn't seem like Arabic at all. You don't understand a single word.
Yeah. But
While,
the alphabet is the same.
it's the same, but we do, you can use the Arabic alphabet or whatever, like the English alphabet just to write the words. It's fine. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
Because
but
Portuguese, Spanish, English, we use the same
same.
alphabet, but
Yeah,
different
yeah, yeah.
languages.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
it's
similar
similar. Yeah.
that way.
It's
Okay.
Arabic alphabet, so it's
Yeah. Same
like we write
alphabet.
it in Arabic. Yeah. Moving on to the second question.
Hmm.
Right. When and how did you learn English, Emma?
Well, I started learning English in kindergarten, so when I was like 4 or 5. And
Is
then
that
I come,
standard for the schools there?
I mean, it's with our kindergarten, it wasn't like in the kindergarten with the teachers there, but
Hmm.
there was some other company that just, had like a lease with the kindergartens, and one person came like once a week to like show us some colors and pictures and animals and teach us the days of the week or something.
Hmm.
And then, I had English throughout my elementary school, and then I went to this, what is it called in English? Like grammar school. I went there when I was 10 and I was there till 18.
It's
Really weird.
elementary, middle, and high school, like all of
Yeah,
that.
it's all together, yeah.
So you
And
guys have, do you call it
we
grades
we had like Latin grades. We had like prima, secunda, tertia, quarta, quinta.
until you were 18?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so most of our like high schools are centered about around like one job, you go to school to be like a nurse or like a
Already in high
teacher or
school.
stuff like that. Yeah, in high school.
And
And
then
then
you're
there are
also
these
learning
grammar schools
English.
that are either like 8 years or 5 years or 4 years that you basically learn everything. Like you have a lot of languages, you have a lot of math, a lot of Slavic language, a lot of English
Oh,
language, a
everyone
lot of
has
German
that.
language, a lot of like
Okay.
biology, physics, chemistry,
English, and then English.
everything. Yeah, everything. Uh, these schools are meant to make you go to university. We call it gymnasium, like gymnasium, but it's like a
Mhm.
gym, so it doesn't really work. And in the last 2 years, you can choose like extra
Mhm.
hours to the classes that you want. So I went with philosophy and English, and I think I have math for a little while because I didn't
Mhm.
understand it.
Right.
So I learned English and like basically my whole life, but until I was like 14, I really hated it and I was almost like failing
Mhm.
because I always had really horrible teachers. And at 14, I finally got a really good English teacher. And in 1 year that I had her, I became the best in class. And I started learning
Wow.
yeah, I started learning by translating songs. Like for example, I loved Avril Lavigne. So
Mhm.
I took like an actual physical dictionary and I was like,
Yeah.
she was a
Translating.
skater boy. She was, yeah.
She
And
was
then
a girl. He was a boy. Oh, let me translate
she
that.
was a boy. She was a boy. Then I started like watching movies and first with subtitles, Slovak, then without subtitles, and reading books in English. And then I studied
Mhm.
English language and English literature and citizenship in university in Czech Republic for 1 year. And then I had my depression era, so I got kicked out. And then I studied it in Slovakia for 5 years. So that's my English background.
Because you don't use English every day, right? When you go to the restaurant or talking to
Well, no,
friends.
but I have a lot of friends from other countries,
Yeah.
so
So
I
that's
write
how
in
you keep
English
up.
all the time. I don't get to speak as much anymore.
Mhm.
I used to volunteer in this one foundation for uh, people with disadvantages,
Okay.
like people with like mental disabilities.
Mhm.
And every year we would organize through Erasmus.
Mhm.
Erasmus,
Erasmus, yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Like a project. So a
Mm.
lot of people from different countries would come, and we had
Yeah,
people
our
from England
university
and Spain and
does
everything. Yeah,
give
and so I would like really speak
Erasmus.
English there. And every year, different German volunteers would come, and they would stay there for like a whole year, and I would be there like every day. So I would speak English every day.
Cool.
Nowadays, I don't really get to speak English. I only write. So every time I come
Mhm.
to this podcast, I'm like, can I even speak?
That's when you practice your
English.
Yeah,
speaking.
yeah. I'm
Nice.
really glad I had those beers because I would be more shy.
Oh
As
no.
if not with us.
Yeah.
Um, I think I've already talked about how I kept up with English in the podcast at some point, but I started learning when I was 9 at school, and then I was put into extra curriculum classes to learn English, like advanced English. Then when I was 16, I did an exchange program. So I lived in Arkansas, USA for 6 months to learn English, but they put me at a place where the accent is very thick. So like I would have a very southern accent. When I learned English, I could find videos. It's kind of weird.
Please do.
Um, and then so I went back to Brazil and I still had like English classes at school, but around that time, that's when internet was huge. Like I was online all the time, and then I liked American and Canadian and English um, TV shows. So I would go online and talk about these. So I didn't have a choice because no one spoke Portuguese, so I had to speak English with these people. So I kept the English online, and I never had to do classes again. I just like kept it. I also read in English exclusively since I came back from the exchange program, and then I did my master's degree in the UK. So that's also how like I kept up with English because I was studying in English, and then I moved here. So yeah, that's why I know English, and I kept up with the language. Mariam?
I learned English in grade 5. I came, like, when I came from Iraq, I was in grade 5. It was November 4th. And I wasn't in school for that because it was war. I was in grade 3, war. And then I skipped like 2 grades, half of grade 3 and grade
Smart.
4.
So you went from grade 3.5
Yeah.
to 5.
I mean, I did go to grade 4 like a little bit, but it was war. So basically, like you go and then 10 days you skip. It's just like it's shit, and
Yeah.
nobody's teaching anyone, and it
Yeah.
was like bullshit. And we didn't have English. We started English in grade 5 supposedly, or grade 6, something like that. But I didn't know anything in English. And when I came to school, I was in a national school, but the English is very advanced. I couldn't speak it to save my life, couldn't write it. My mom wasn't really good at it, couldn't teach me. My dad didn't live here. So basically, what happened is I got bullied into being a good English student. And at that time, my dad used to like, he felt how annoyed I was and how frustrated because I didn't like let it out. So, he sat me in front of like the TV and started playing movie after the other, and he would get me like whatever I wanted, like snacks, and he loved movies. And whenever he was like in Jordan, he would just like get me snacks, movies, whatever, just watch, learn. And I remember it was July of that summer. I was with my dad alone, and he got us burgers and fries. And there was a film called Cadet Kelly by Hilary Duff, and
Yeah.
I was so obsessed with Cadet Kelly. I was like, I wanted to watch it again and again. I was so obsessed. Like, what is this movie? And I didn't realize it was like an awakening in that sense. It didn't click to me, but I was obsessed, and I was just like, I started making up fan fictions in my head, like continuing that, and that's when I started to like imagine.
But so the
I was
English
12.
But how
Yeah,
old
here's
were
the
you?
thing. At 12, I was grade 6 going to 7. So I was just like obsessed, and I kept telling my cousin about it. She was like, "Oh, that's Hilary Duff. Everyone knows her." And like, she does, like, she's on Lizzie McGuire, and like, and I found out, yeah, Lizzie McGuire plays on this channel that we had because I didn't have Disney back then. And I was just like completely obsessed in that summer, and I started like talking only about her the way that I was obsessed with Tegan and Sara. And then one day, and I started to use some English words here and there because I was on the internet. I was going on the internet trying to find out, and my dad was helping me. He helped me made my first email that I still use. In grade 7, I started getting better. In grade 8, I was obsessed with English. I became a Miley Cyrus stan, Selena Gomez stan, Hilary Duff, whatever you want, Avril Lavigne, of course. Obsessed. And that's how I taught myself English, basically. I started reading and buying books and just learning and learning. So I remember in grade 10, I was in the library in the school because we didn't have novels or anything. I was just taking standard English, like grammar. So I found Wuthering Heights in there, and my friend took that book. My friend took grabbed the Scarlet Letter, and I grabbed Wuthering Heights, and we started reading them, and I fell in love with Heathcliff. And Kathy and Catherine. We talked about that in the last episode.
Yes.
I was just obsessed, and I was like, oh, I was just like sitting there, and I was like, I wish I could study something that they could only study stories. And she was like, yeah, that's called English literature, stupid. I was in grade 10. I didn't know.
Wow. Is
My
that when you decided to
I
study
decided
that? Like,
my
Not
level of
Wuthering Heights
comprehension.
though. Just
I love it. I love it. I love it.
she
I
loves
still love
like
it.
the next book that we have to read for our
You
book
love the
club is like
toxic shit.
she's gonna love it, and I'm reading and listening at the same time, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, she's gonna have to teach me
It's
about
not
it
a
because I
novel.
have
It's
no
not a
idea.
novel. It's a
No, it's like
biography. Right?
it's a bunch of essays, and I'm just like,
yeah. Honestly, it's very hard. No, it's very hard. I read the first chapter. I'm like, oh my God, this is very hard. So yeah, I decided to, major in literature, even though like my parents were so against it. Like, you're an Iraqi, you're not gonna be a pharmacist or a doctor. No way. I wanted to major like badly. I wanted to major in English. Now here's the thing, I'm Iraqi, so I have to pay for international fees. I wanted to major in literature, and the only college that has literature. The only university was University of Jordan. The other universities, they have language, not literature. I don't want language. I don't want linguistics. I
Oh,
wanted literature, like full
literature.
literature program. Not
Linguistics sucks.
So I wanted that, but it was so expensive. Like the credit for the hour was the same tuition fees, the same fees as medicine. So he took me like to a private university because it's cheaper, and I submitted. But because I got the highest GPA from the Iraqis in Jordan, the embassy gave me a scholarship. It's just I almost died. Like God is real. Like I was just like, no way. And University of my dreams, literature for free, guys, for free. Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. So then I became Maryam, the one that basically the pride
Yeah.
of the
So now
family.
English is a huge part of your
Yeah,
life.
I learned it, and then that's when everything changed about my cultural understanding, my awareness of the world, because of the professors that taught me, the people that I interacted with. That's when the awakening truly happened. And that's how I met Tegan and Sara. Not met, discovered Tegan and Sara.
Cool.
And you know the rest. Next question, we're gonna move on to Emma.
Yeah. How has discovering the community Tegan and Sara established affected your cultural understanding?
I discovered Tegan and Sara when I was 15, so I already spoke English. And I was in the phase of discovering myself and my sexuality. I started, listening to them and discovering Canada, and I was just like, Canada.
And then you also got in touch with fans who were international.
I started talking
and then you
to
get
people
to
from
know
like Canada and Indonesia even, and started talking about their culture and started realizing, that I'm not just in my little bubble, this like racist, anti-LGBT, like really religious Catholic, horrible, envious place. That there's a lot of other people and a lot of other cultures, even though they're different, they're not wrong. They're really cool, and Tegan and Sara just taught me a lot, and they're just so cool, and I love them. And I think I will forever love them because, like, just, knowing Tegan and Sara coming into the internet and into the community, it affected, like, how I perceived other people, other cultures, and eventually how I perceived myself. And it made me realize that maybe some of the stuff that I learned in my culture weren't really, like, cool. And I really like self-reflected on how I was acting and what people I wanted around me, and what my family wasn't doing right, and everything like that.
So nice.
Oh, thank you. So what about you?
No, for me, I was already older. Like I discovered Tegan and Sara 4 years ago, so I kind of already had established who I was and everything like that. But in the Tegan and Sara community, it's more than what I experienced before, even though like I lived in so many places and I grew up learning other cultures. I never was part of them. It was always something like outside of who I was and what I was doing. And then when I was in the Tegan and Sara, like when I discovered Tegan and Sara, it was different because I felt part of it. Like I feel like even though I was already older, I felt like I belonged.
Yeah.
So, and then like culturally, for me, it was more about being part of something and not like learning a culture where I was part of.
Yeah. Like a community.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, same thing. And I agree with Emma, everything that Emma said, because I discovered Tegan and Sara kind of around the same time, I suppose. I learned about their existence when I was 18, when I became like a huge fan, and it was 19. It was the same time that I was getting to know who I really am, getting to know myself, struggling with my identity a lot, with the way that I looked, the way that I presented myself, with my cultural understanding. And that I live in a very different culture from, I live in an Eastern culture. I'm in the Middle East. It's like there's this gap that I just felt like I needed. I didn't belong to, but
it was like a gap that you needed to fill, right?
I needed to fill, but like I wasn't included, and I still feel that I'm not included. But it's less annoying now. when I became 25 and COVID hit, and we sat home, and where does the good grow happened, and I started like, interact with fans more, and I started to change a lot. It doesn't matter if I live here or anywhere. If I wanted to live the way that I want, I could live the way that I want. And I changed the way that I think the way that I look, the way I presented myself. So basically, yeah, everything changed. I felt more included within the community of fans, but at the same time, not included by Tegan and Sarah themselves. But
Yeah,
it
it's
has
like
changed. Yeah.
yeah, it's unfortunate that you can't be there, but as a person, as yourself, you feel like you can be yourself in the community, even though you can't be
That
there.
is true. It's a safe space
You
for me,
can
like
be
this
your yeah.
podcast and everything. And I like that
Yeah.
we created this podcast or this communal understanding between us where we're in totally different, like we're opposite sides of the map, basically, and opposite time zones.
Yeah, and
And
then
we're
in the
just,
end, it's because of them.
it's
It's
because
because
of
of
them.
Tegan and
So
Sarah.
it
They
has
create
shaped my
things.
identity. So my
Yeah.
identity right now is like I'm an English teacher slash instructor, researcher, podcast yapper, not editor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next question is, does religion connect to culture? Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Obviously. How have these cultures shaped our identity? I think we just talked about that.
Yeah,
So,
we did.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely. Like
I mean, my awareness, like here's the thing. I feel like because none of us are American, no
North
offense to American,
American.
we're not American. Yeah, we're not American. I mean, Canadians have some social understanding more than Americans sometimes.
I see
Got it.
what you mean.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we are more aware of the world and its problems. We don't think
Mhm.
ourselves as the center of the universe. Like, here's the thing.
Mhm.
Sorry to any American hearing us. We don't mean that, but this is the case, basically. Like, when I was very young, I only thought we had Iraq and America because America always us. Put a beep in that because they're gonna like cancel the podcast.
Not everybody, but like as a culture and as a country, there is a reputation that Americans have, and that's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about America, like you who are listening, that is American specifically. We're talking about like the reputation.
I mean, the people who hear us, they know that they're socially aware. So
Yeah.
I suppose that our culture, like the part that I'm in, here's the thing. I lived in Georgia my entire life. I'd never understood anything about Palestine and Israel. I was not even allowed to ask about that in my family. But when October 7th happened and everything changed, I was like, no, I need to like put myself out there, and I need to know. I need to like educate myself because I sound so stupid right now. And
yeah, like even
talked
within
to my
our own
parents.
families and our own cultures, we realize that we are more socially aware than people who are close to us.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, thank God I live in this time frame, in this location, geographic location, in this era. Maybe I understand now that why I live there or why not I don't live in the West, why I came from there. Like maybe that my mission is to teach, is to like spread awareness, and like that's my goal. Maybe this is like it's destined for me. And I'm a very spiritual, firm believer in like whatever God wants happens. So I like it has changed. Like the culture that I'm in has changed, or that I'm surrounded by has changed or shaped my identity, and keeps on shaping my identity because the only truth in life is change, basically. So get to the next question. Has media and music or have media and music altered your cultural understanding?
Yeah, of course. I mean, media has a huge
Media, Tegan and Sara. I
influence.
mean, yeah, we talked about
Yeah, but
that's
I'm
all
meaning,
we consume
you know,
nowadays.
when I was little and I was just like living with all these like Slovak programs and stuff, and they were just like so fucking racist and problematic, and you know, I remember like participating in that culture.
Yeah,
Like
same.
just saying really like horrible stuff that I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
not proud of.
same. Yeah,
And I think I was always a little more open. Like I always asked my mom, like, you know, why cannot two men be together? Even when I didn't answer. And I asked my mom, like, why are people poor? Why cannot we just like give people stuff? And she was like, there was communism that didn't work. And I'm like, what's communism? They just work and be happy together, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember how just media shaped me. And then, as I said, you know, everything on the internet was just so American centric. So then I was just like thrown into that space, and suddenly it was just like hate, but like different hate than in our country, you know. We have different racism than that's in America, and it does shape you, and you have to learn that you cannot just, you know, read and just take in stuff like passively. You have to like try to find some information for yourself. And now I'm really into K-pop, so I'm trying to learn more about, you know, the Asian cultures, because
Oh, that's nice.
but even this, you know, in Korean culture, they're really huge on like the older people, you know, they're just respect to the older people. They use honorifics and different grammar. They wouldn't ever be like disrespectful to someone older, and I'm just like, fuck off. If you don't respect
Wow.
me, I don't respect you.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just me, or like my generation, because recently I talked about this with my mom, and she said that she could never imagine, like she would just be beat up, you know, forever, like talking back to her parents. And I just talk back all the time. I was never beaten, thank God. But you know.
Yeah, but I feel like because it's also accessible, you have to be interested also to learn all of these things, because if we only believe the media, that
Don't
would be a
believe the
problem.
media.
I just listened to a podcast where they talked about fake news and how like fake news are fabricated literally to manipulate people to do something.
Yeah.
And people believe it because
Yeah.
they're
Because they're
very like
stupid.
close. Yeah, because they're very close-minded and they live in this world where they don't expand their views or beliefs or anything like that. And then
the problem is with our age that everything is just so different, and you have like information from all around. Like just imagine like 60 years ago, people were still like, at least in my country, they were on the fields.
Yeah, like critical thinking. Like people need to learn critical thinking.
Yeah, but here's the thing: we have the internet. They didn't have the internet. We have information, like you said, from all around. They only had information that would be shown to them, propaganda, basically.
And either you know, you grow up with the internet and you have some critical thinking, or you're fucking 60 and you just hear something and you believe it. And
yeah.
Let's continue with our podcast.
Let's continue. Now it's a get to know me. Obviously we're getting to know each other, but like this is like a really quick questions, okay? So, Emma, traditional foods and drinks in your culture, their
so
names.
We're really into like potato dumplings and gnocchi with sheep cheese and bacon. And our like national food is just like bread with salt, which is fucking disgusting. But
bread with salt.
Bread with salt, because we're really poor. And we drink a lot of alcohol. We are really into like strong spirits, like 40%, 50%. We are really alcoholic in this country. And we also drink something that is called zinchica, which is a side product from sheep's milk, and it's sour and has a lumpy texture, like a cottage cheese. My grandparents love
But
it.
Is it safe?
Yogurt?
I've never had it.
Safe to drink?
Yeah, it's pasteurized or something, I guess.
Yeah, pasteurized. Is it like yogurt? Like
No, it's worse.
But it's alcoholic.
No, there's no.
Oh.
No.
Alcoholic milk? You're wild.
I don't know. You were talking about alcohol and then suddenly you're talking about lumpy texture.
She meant that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just jumping. But our like national drink, it's borovička, and it's like a really strong spirit. I think it's like 37%, and it's from these like little fruits that grow on pine trees. I think it's pine, maybe not.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like in Brazil, it's really big. So like food and drinks, it depends where you are in Brazil. Like where I'm from, like we don't really have like typical food or drinks. We like barbecue a lot. We like rice and beans a lot. We eat rice and beans every day. And like I'm gonna say pizza, which is ridiculous because it's not where even is pizza from, you know, because like it's so different everywhere.
Yeah.
But in my town in Brazil, like traditional food, one of them is pizza, because it's like the way it's made is different than other places in Brazil. Like other places, pizza is shit. So yeah, it depends. Like in the north, there's a lot of seafood and We drink a lot of juice. I
Oh,
don't think like people drink a lot of milk, but I didn't grow up drinking milk. I think milk is gross. I have milk in my
Ew,
coffee,
ew,
but
ew,
that's
ew.
it. Like
milk is horrible.
it's
Yeah, I
gross.
don't drink milk. I have lactose intolerance anyway, so no.
Weak.
Weak, very weak. Anyway, traditional foods in Iraq. Well, there is something. I mean, kebab. Do you know what kebab is? It's like
Yeah.
Fuck
meat
yeah, I
like.
have it every time I'm drunk.
So whatever. It's just Iraqis love to eat meat, like beef. Just like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, they just lamb, whatever. I'm not a meat person. I'm not like, so like if my dad makes it, barbecues it, I eat it because it doesn't have fat in it. No, anyone else, I'm not gonna eat it.
Mm-hmm.
There is something called dolma. I think you know it, Debbie. It's the
Yeah,
one
you
that you
told me
saw
about
your,
it.
yeah, your coworker.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically stuffed grape leaves. A lot of people love it. It's not my favorite food, but it's our traditional food. But like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it takes hours to make and minutes to eat. So it's like,
I know.
why the hell?
I saw TikTok the
Exactly.
other day that was like you spend two
Yeah.
hours cooking to finish in 10 minutes. It's like
Yeah. Yeah, it's too
why?
much. We also, since we have, the Euphrates, we have rivers in Iraq. We eat a lot of fish every day. There's fish. Like my mom would cook fish every single day if she could.
Mm-hmm.
And we love fish in Iraq. And I like the way that they make it. They don't make it in Jordan the same way. And I miss it, honestly. I miss eating that type of fish. In
Yeah.
Jordan, the traditional food is called mansaf and it's rice and meat and like this something called jamid. I'm sorry, I don't like it because it has meat. Um there is like the drinks, we're considered Islamic country, so we don't drink alcohol at all. It's not allowed
Mm-hmm.
in religion. um yeah, that's about it. Tea or coffee in your culture, which one is more popular, Emma?
Coffee.
Everybody that I asked said coffee, but we drink a lot of tea as well. I think it's really a breakfast thing for us.
Tea?
And then yeah, tea.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like in
when
Jordan, yeah.
you're sick, you drink a lot of tea, or when it's cold, you just drink tea. But yeah, everybody drinks coffee. But love tea.
Yeah, in Brazil's coffee, because Brazilian coffee is known to be like one of the best
Yeah, we
coffees.
we export a lot of
Yeah, you
coffee.
export. We
And we
have
have tea
Brazilian
as well,
coffee.
but it's similar to Emma. We have it like when it's cold or when you're sick, like late afternoon.
Oh,
But like Brazil is a tropical country, so it's like in the south of Brazil it gets cold, but not for a long time. So we don't have like a huge culture of drinking tea. And then we do have coffee, but it's usually in the morning and
mm,
like late afternoon, depending on the region that you live.
mm,
Um, we have the afternoon coffee, they call it, and then you have
yeah.
like you gather where you live, like with your family or
So it's
friends,
like
and
a
then you have
tradition. It's
coffee.
very
Yeah,
important.
yeah,
In
but with
Iraq,
coffee.
tea is very, very, very like it's I guess it's the drink, the national drink, and very heavy
Mm-hmm.
tea with cardamom, and it's
Mm.
very bitter. A lot of people put sugar. I don't. I love it very bitter. I love bitter tasting things. Very heavy. Jordanians can't bear it at all because they like their tea light.
Mm.
We like it every, like, if it's hot, if it's cold, they drink it. Iraq is not very fond of coffee, Iraqis. They drink tea, but my family, because we have Turkish roots, we drink a lot of Turkish coffee. It's very important. My mom wakes up in the morning, she has her Turkish coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I crave it a lot, especially in Ramadan when we fast. I drink Turkish coffee after I break my fast. It's just so good. I also drink it without sugar, very bitter. But I'm also a coffee person for myself. But like
Mm-hmm.
Iraqis mostly are tea people. Emma, a celebration only known in your culture.
I would say Fashiangi, which is this period of time between the 6th of January and it lasts until the before Easter fast.
I like it.
And it's this period of time where people just have a lot of balls and parties and drink and have like really greasy food. But the tradition comes from, when we were not very rich and
Mm-hmm.
people used to live in villages and there were like a whole community and everybody would like have a house and a little farm and before winter, they would kill animals and, smoke meat and make everything with meat. So after Christmas, the whole of January and February, they would just eat meat.
You get to enjoy all the stuff that you did before.
And after that, there would come the fast, because the meat would be gone, and they would, spring would come, and they would eat again like lighter meals, and then Easter would come. And Easter is really, really fun in Slovakia as well. We have this tradition that men come to your house, and they have braided this whip from a weeping willow, and they beat you with it, and they splash you with water, and then you have to give them money and
on Easter?
Yeah.
Why? You give them money and they beat you.
Yeah, they beat you. They beat you with like a whip, and they splash you with water, and they say that they splash you with water so you're healthy all year, and they beat you so you're pretty all year. And then you give them a shot, you give them some money, and they go to another house. Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know if I like that tradition.
No, it's horrible, but I love it, because my dad would always like come to pick me up from bed, and he would throw me in the shower and shower me with cold. It sounds like abuse now I'm saying it, but it's really fun.
I don't think we should keep
when you know that it's fun and you're not
child services are gonna
This is the type of, it's like being hazed when you get into university. It's like, what is happening? Well, the tradition in Brazil is that in February, well, not anymore, because I feel like we're getting better as just a society in general, but like I grew up watching girls topless dance on TV, so for like an entire month.
The opposite of Slovakia.
Like because we have carnival.
Don't beat those just show them.
Yeah.
And dance on TV.
We don't mean that. We're feminists.
Yeah.
Celebration that they celebrate only in Iraq, and I don't remember it because in Jordan they don't celebrate it. They celebrate it as Mother's Day, but it's called Nowruz. And it's like the spring day starts. It's called, it means new day. Its spelling and pronunciation may vary in each country. And Nowruz marks the first day of spring, and it is celebrated on the day the astronomical vernal equinox, which usually occurs on 21st March. So it's basically people like, I don't know, they get their fish, of course, very important fish, and like their sweets and everything. They go to the parks and they wear traditional costumes, and I think maybe it's celebrated in old Persia, not Iran right now. It used to be celebrated, but it's mostly a Kurdish holiday. Because Iraq has part that is Kurdish, a huge part called Kurdistan. And because like the places aren't in Iraq, they celebrate them, but since I don't celebrate them. But like it's very like right now, it's very important to go and visit these places. And they like the people whip themselves and they're like really sad, but they're festive, like they're cooking and they're happy at the same time. I don't know why. This is what I understood. So I've never like witnessed these, but like I saw them on TV, like these things.
Wow.
Yeah. So, what is a popular street food in your culture and that in your culture that locals love?
Well,
bread with salt.
No. Nothing that is street food here is ours. We have language that is Hungarian. We have kebab that's Middle Eastern. We have fries, hot dogs. Nothing is ours. We may have like some fried cheese or like these funnel cakes or something, or potato pancakes, but they don't really sell on like on a street. You just go for kebab or pizza. So,
what about you?
Yeah, in Brazil we have street markets where you go and buy your like produce and stuff. They always have one of the tents serves pastel, which is pretty much just like fried dough with filling. So they have like all types of fillings. I love that, and everyone I know loves that. It's very greasy, very crispy. I love it. It's amazing. And we have other stuff too, but like I said, depends where you are in Brazil. Like pastel is very common where I'm from, but if you go to the north, they have other kinds of street food as well, and usually they sell it when you go to street markets. If you go like to the mall and stuff, it's just like everywhere else, like burgers and fries and pizza. How about you?
Well, just like Emma, nothing is ours really. I mean, kebab, we don't have it. We don't have it as street food. It's very like it's appreciated. It has to be appreciated and barbecued and like used.
Yeah, you have it at
like
home. You make it at
skewers.
home.
Not
Yeah.
only home, like in restaurants, and very expensive and like, but street food like hot dog. I remember. I'm trying to remember, guys. I was 9 when I like 9 out of 10.
Hot
10
dogs.
9.
We're big in
Hot
hot dogs
dogs.
too.
But very, very delicious. Falafel, that's not Iraqi, that's Egyptian.
I love falafel.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Really?
Whoa.
Just like fat for no reason, not even tasty. In Jordan, they love it. They eat it like like in the morning, in the evening. I don't know what's going on with them.
I love
Shawarma,
it.
shawarma. We call it in Iraq. We call it gus. All right, but it's called shawarma everywhere. But in Iraq, of course, we have our own language. What is a unique cultural practice or tradition in your country that might surprise outsiders other than whipping?
Other than whipping, we take our shoes off in
What?
houses.
They do it in
Take
Canada
our shoes
too.
off.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we don't. No.
In Canada,
And
we do. In Brazil, we don't.
nice.
How about
That's
Jordan?
interesting, yeah.
Depends on the household because I remember visiting my friend once and she was like, take your shoes off, guys, at the beginning.
Okay,
And
so it depends.
I'm in my socks
They don't
usually.
have like guest sleepers?
No,
We
no.
What
always
if it's a
have
party?
guest sleepers,
They don't have
but we
gas
don't wear
sleepers
them.
for everyone. If it's a party
Even
of
if it's a
15.
party, you take it off?
Yes.
That's why Sarah was in her socks
No
in all of these
shoes.
parties. Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
why is she in her socks?
We don't wear shoes like inside.
Yeah.
That's
Hell
a thing.
no. Weddings. How about weddings in your culture, Emma?
Well, I mean, we have little really traditional and also really non-traditional, but the traditional are fun. Recently I was at the wedding of my friend, and he has now a wife from the eastern Slovakia, and they are really religious and really into just like big parties. So their weddings last at least 3 days.
Whoa.
And it was really traditional. Like we all had together in front of her house, and the husband had to pay her father, and he paid her 1,000 euros for her.
Whoa.
Yeah.
In Brazil, it's common that the
But
bride's family pays for the wedding. The wedding is usually
yeah,
really
yeah.
big, and like
Yeah.
we have the church, and then we have the party afterwards.
Yes.
Usually, right?
Yeah.
The traditional stuff, and then you wear white, like a white dress, really pretty. Like you dress up. Everyone dresses up. There's a lot of food, a lot of drink, like party, family.
The
Do you
daughter
guys
know.
record the marriage in court like we do?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is like a
You have
court
to have witnesses.
and
Yes.
2 witnesses and like
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
oh yeah, that we don't have like in Islam we don't have church marriage, obviously. Neither a mosque marriage. We just like church, that's at court and
Mm.
like the witnesses,
Okay.
and then you sign like the contract. And so we just like head to the party. But Christians in here, yes, we have the church and then we go to the party. And we wear white as well, and it's just festive. Religious people usually, especially in Jordan, they don't like their marriages mixed. So like the women's parties alone, and then the men's party alone, and then the men's people, they just come at the end. It's just I don't like it. I'm sorry, no judgment for anyone who likes that. But in Iraq, we like to be together and we like to stuff each other and we like to like hold hands and just dance and jump.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically when it comes to our weddings. What about paying when you're out with your friends?
You split.
Yeah, we split the everything basically. But if there's some like if we are out with someone who's an elder, like my grandma, she would pay.
Wow.
When something weird that I noticed, guys, you guys have, it's tipping. We don't tip
We don't
in
have it in Brazil. Mm-mm.
You don't have it in Brazil. But
No.
here's the thing, we don't tip is because we already pay 10% service. Like
Yes.
it's included in our tax. So we have tax
Yes.
6%, service 10. So we don't tip at all. Sometimes if I have like a quarter, I would just keep it. Last but not least, can we have a game? This is last thing.
Actually, we didn't talk about the title of the song.
I want it to be closer.
After the game, let's do the game.
Okay, we're gonna play a game, and then after we're going to explain why we chose Closer as the episode's title. We don't have a time to analyze the song today because we talked too much. But after the game, we're going to tie it together, the song and the topic.
All right, very quickly. Song, game. Each person has to say the following words in their language.
Okay.
Hello.
Ahoy.
Oi.
Hello. It's the same thing. Bye.
Do widzenia.
Ciao.
Bye.
Do you even have a language?
Thank you.
Ďakujem.
Obrigada.
Shukran.
Mhm.
See, we have a language.
It's similar.
Yeah. Car.
Auto.
Carro.
Sayara.
Mhm.
Bed.
Posteľ.
Cama.
Well, depends which side of Iraq. Either Turpaya or Qariola. Or Frash.
So 3 names.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fork.
Vidlička.
Garfo.
Chatal. Knife.
Nôž.
Faca. That's a funny word.
Sitchin. Spoon.
Lyžička.
Colher.
Khashuga. Nose.
Nos.
Nariz.
Khasham. What's up?
No čo ty?
E aí?
Shakumaku.
That's funny.
It's Aramic. Pencil sharpener.
Oh my
Strúhadlo.
God. Say that again.
Strúhadlo.
Straw handle.
Oh!
In Portuguese, from Brazil. Apontador.
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 Muqtata.
Wow. Good job. What?
That's in Iraqi. I don't know what is
What
it called in
muktata? What did
Arabic.
you say?
Barrai. In Jordania say barrai. But in Iraqi we say muqtata.
Mortata.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sounds like it. Rice.
Ryža.
Arroz.
Well, in Arabic it's ruz, but in Iraqi it's timman.
So different.
Shut up.
Drž piču.
Cala a boca.
In chab. Rude.
Neslušný.
It depends. It's a gendered word in Portuguese.
Yeah,
So it's either
same.
grosso or grossa.
Yeah, everything here is gendered as well. So
Same.
Yeah.
Adapses.
We also say rude, but it's more formal.
Rude.
Stupid, idiot.
Idiota, estúpido, burro.
In Iraqi, حمار مخبل معتل. Just translated what she said. I just translated 3 words. I gave you 3 words.
I said 3 words, yeah.
Yeah, حمار مخبل معتل. This is what she said, by the way.
Hlúpy, sprostý debil.
Yeah.
Good. All right. We'll get into the end. So before that, we'd like to say that this episode is called Closer for the reason that we wanted, or Tegan and Sara were the reason that they brought, us closer, and they created this community, and this community of people from different backgrounds and brought them closer. So it's not really about the song, more about the title. I mean, the song is obviously about you wanting someone to be very close to you, but we mean it as in, we're closer in the sense of We have a shared community despite our differences, which you've seen just right now. Towards the
Cool.
end, we had asked a question before, or in the last episode, we asked a question about
We asked people to share
a story about about catching someone in a lie, and we only had one submission, to be honest. So this submission is by Maju, and she says, a long time ago, I gave a friend a Mumford and Sons CD for her birthday. She said she liked it. Months later, when she gave me a ride, she asked me what I wanted to listen. She had a handbag with some CDs in it. A CD holder, I don't know the name. Yeah, it's a CD holder, basically. But then she found a CD under the car seat. She grabbed it and said, "Oh, there is this one I don't like very much. It makes me very sleepy. It's kind of a meh. All songs sound the same. It was the Mumford and Sons CD I gave her."
Damn.
Wow.
Emma, have you ever been, since last time
Have
we
you
talked
ever
about lying?
catch someone in a lie?
Oh my God, I was in this situationship for like 2 years, and it was with this girl, and it was like, oh, she was so hurt in the past relationships. She doesn't really want to be in a relationship, but I love you so much. And we were pretty much dating and just we're together like all the time. And
For
she
2
knows all of
years.
my friends. Yeah, for 2 years. She knows all of my friends, and we go like to trips together and everything, and we're just spending all our time together. And then I found out that she was just constantly cheating on me and stuff. So it was fun.
That sucks. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
A tough pill to swallow, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's finish.
Earlier we were talking and we were wondering from the listeners if people have a perception of us just from listening to the podcast, like how they perceive us. So I'm gonna make a poll. Which one of us is nicer, and then people can vote.
Yes.
And then we're gonna give you guys the results in the next episode. Oh, but we do have I made a poll on Instagram.
Oh yeah, who lies more in their songs?
Tegan.
Because last episode we
Tegan.
talked about. Last time I checked, it was Tegan, but let me see.
It always will be Tegan.
I feel like Sarah just says everything without filter, and Tegan
Yeah,
lies.
she just doesn't care. She's like,
Yeah.
Can you guess
what
the
were your hands made
percentage?
for? What was your
So
mouth?
the one who lies more in lyrics is Tegan. Can you guess the percentage?
72.
69.
75% of people voted for Tegan.
Emma won. Wow.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
All right, wrap it up, Debbie, very quickly.
Thanks for listening. Please follow, subscribe, whichever option there is in the platform that you're listening to this. Rate our episode 5 stars. Our socials are Wanna Talk TNS Pod. If you go on Instagram or Twitter, you have the link tree where you have all of our links, and also our Google form where you can submit anything, questions, concerns, suggestions. Please share. And yeah, thank you so much, Emma, for coming.
Thank you.
So
it's 2 a.m.
I really appreciate that you came to talk to us. We're definitely gonna have you again for sure.
You must.
Until next time, bye.
Bye.
Bye, Emma.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Does it work? Is it working?
I don't know.
Miriam has a new accessory.
Gadgets.
She's holding a tiny microphone.
It's the tiny microphone that's not working. I don't want this podcast to like get deleted because we said we're in a cold. So
our 10 listeners don't care.
Oh yeah, that's true. Our 10 listeners.
Do you want to say hi?
What if they're listening? But yeah, sure.
Their colleague, yeah.
Matka, what's up?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be the bad girl now. I need to go to the toilet because I had 5 beers.
Yes, go ahead.
Enjoy.
Yeah,
today.
The last sentence, you can do it. You can do it.
Whenever you're like this,
you're almost there. Come on.
I wanted to say we forgot to take the to say Majuz.
What?
Girl.
It could get me
Did
too.
she freeze for you too?
What?
Not your, oh no. You froze for a little bit.
Oh. I did.
There's no silence in our podcast. Is there any
Alright.
silence in our podcast, Emma? Never.
No.
I cut
never.
all the
You
silence.
cut all the sound. Also, silence is nice.
What type of bread?
Just bread.
Just like a baguette? Like a
bread.
No.
Just bread.
or like a loaf.
A loaf of bread and the slice.
But is it like
A
soft
slice
or is
of
it
bread
hard
and
at the
salt.
or is it hard at the edge and soft in the middle?
Oh my god, I can't believe you're
Debbie, do you know what bread is?
Oh my
Yes, but
God.
there are
A loaf
a lot of
bread.
types.
Well,
Like from the outside, that doesn't look good at all.
well, our culture is really about alcoholism and abuse. So
Right.